welcome to the DQ Lifestyle Podcast with me, Marcus. And I've just done this pod. I've literally just done this pod. And it didn't record on the bloody podcast recorder thing. So we're going to talk about the here and now. I feel like I've lost the je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? Is that the right word? I was talking about the DQ lifestyle, what it means, and oh gosh, I've gone into that speech again. It's just basically about getting onto a new path, a more positive path. And it's not about being, hi guys, hi, yeah, and it's like being like no, it still be you, but it's just decision making. You stay making good decisions. So once you siphon through all my content and you begin to work on yourself a bit, don't worry, I'm going to go back through it at some point to I'm gonna go back through it at some point to I'm gonna go back through it, don't worry, you'll see when it comes, because I'm about to go ham. So it's just getting onto a new path and then making decisions that only benefit you. Not only benefit you, but they will only benefit. So there's no like negative consequence to your actions or your decisions. You see, decisions first, regardless of what your actions are, you decided to do it. Your brain told your body what to do. Do you know what I mean? You thought about it. So I'm not taking no check on no like impulse and shit, because we've already spoke about that. It's a decision. You know what I mean? And it's a programming, it's just habits. But yeah, basically, don't quit, no quitting. Or don't quit, never quit. Either way, it's just about staying on the new path, getting on the path and staying on it, because you're going to have ups and downs, because we've got feelings. We're going to feel up, we're going to feel down, whatever. We're going to feel neutral, whatever. So it's just... it's just whatever the weather, we are going to be on the same path, on the right path. So we're going to keep building towards our goals. That speech was dead compared to the first one. The first one was glorious. You can imagine. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to talk about the here and now. I really can't bother doing this again. I don't know why it didn't record. It looks like it's recording now, because I can see my voice going up and down. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, right. Here and now. So I spoke about it before on the last pod, and I was mentioning the power of now, but I'm not talking about the power of now. I'm talking about what I learned on the TC. So basically, we only have the here and now. So right now, I am here in my office / studio. You get it. Can't find another N. Oh, not another N, but can't find the N, so I'm trying to get an N. You know what I mean? Sweating, just got out of the shower. Not just, but I'm still, the office is hot. Can't open window, can't open door, because you're going to get background noise. It's mental. You know what I mean? So your boy is going through it right now to get this content out for you. So we've only got the here and now. Literally this split second, it's moved on. From when I just started this pod, it's moved on. I haven't got that as a memory now. You know, the ones there. Like, so we can be depressed about the past, and we can be worried about the future. But either way, that's just all in our mind. Our memories are all in our mind. The past is all in our mind. And worrying about the future, like me knowing that I've got work in a couple of hours, me knowing that I've got an appointment tomorrow, I'm going to go barbers tomorrow, that's all in my mind. I just know I'm going to do it tomorrow. But I've only got the here and now. Also, one thing as well, I need to stop saying, get off the pills, stop the medication, because some people need it, and I understand that. I do understand that. Because when I say get off the pills, I'm talking about people like myself that can still be diagnosed, because they're still presenting in a certain way. The doctor doesn't know anything, like, in a sense. It does know stuff, or they know stuff, should I say, but they don't know. It's only going off what you present with. And that's why you can blag the system. When you say, I'm depressed and hard, I need to get on, like, you know what I mean, whatever the sick, you know what I mean, so you don't have to work. Like, you can be not to blag it because you're presenting that way. So there's nothing wrong with you, but they've diagnosed you with this and that, give you a signal or whatever. I don't know how to process it, but that's, you know what I mean? So someone like myself, if I went to the doctor and said some stuff, they would have put me on medication. But I didn't actually need the medication. I needed something, and that's the reason I'm not who I was and how I was. I'm where I am now through talking and being given different concepts in thinking, or in thinking, should I say, I'm saying in thinking, like I've already said thinking, but in thinking, so that I can change the way I think, kind of thing, because there's other ways of thinking, not just my way of thinking, because my way of thinking was detrimental to me and others. More importantly, me. Do you know what I mean? If it's detrimental to me, then I'm going to continue to be detrimental to others. So they give me new ways of thinking, and I've adopted those ways of thinking. They become my ways of thinking, and these ways of thinking are more productive for me. Therefore, more productive for others, because I can give positive, righteous advice. I couldn't even give my little nephew advice. I couldn't. If he told me some mad stuff, I go to my mum. I'd be like, Mum, because I'm just passing. It's funny because like it's in a job that I've got now. It's all about where the risk is at. So just say someone comes to us and their risk is high. We don't deal with high, we deal with low to medium. And if their risk is high, and especially on the phone with them, like then we need to ensure that another service knows about this, because we can't accept it. We can't be like, all right, see you later, bye. Or if you like doing that, all right, see you later, bye, ha, bye, bye. Like, no, like, we need to ensure a service that's capable is aware who this individual is and what's going on from it at this moment in time, because we're passing the risk. Because within our society, someone needs to be accountable for somebody. We're all accountable for each other, and we need to ensure that someone. Because if they are low to medium, then we'll take on them. We're dealing with their risk. Their risk lies with us. So when people bring them, if we're getting professional referrals from other professional bodies, whether it's crisis team or Yorkshire Ambulance Service or mental health recovery vehicle or the police or whatever, when they come into contact with this person, the risk lies with them, and then when they give them to us, the risk lies with us. Do you know what I mean? It's like pass the parcel. Do you know what I mean? That's how it goes. And if they're too high risk, then we have to pass it to the next. That did get moved up another stage, so we passed the risk to someone else. So it's just like basically that premise now. Man, if you would tell me something, I'd be like, whoa, because I can't let him tell me this, and then a mad thing happens, and then it's like, well, no one knew anything. I'm like, I'd have to say, but I knew, and you said that to me. I'd have to say, Mum. And then she's just going off along because she can't cope with, spoke about my mother, love her to death, big up your mummy, you know what I mean? She's getting better though. My mum, since I've been out of prison, yeah, and I've been spouting me mad things that all this stuff that I talk about all the time. You think this is just me on a pod? Nope. I'm a nightmare to be around. She's made some of the rapidest changes and adopting new ideas, not in terms of thinking, but in terms of like advice taking, trusting, and just being able to take someone's advice is so big, because that's basically what I did with them and the TC. Like, so when they're giving it, I could have rejected it. Some people reject it. Like a lot of people reject it. Like therapy is a law. At the one I was like in the therapy that we kind of did, the therapeutic communities, they have low pass rates in a sense because people just reject the idea. Their idea is right, and that's it. It's got that solid. No. They won't let anything. They won't like take that bit away that don't work and then put this bit there that makes them function better and get more out of life. So I've come out now. I'm just acquiring and doing all kinds of, and they have literally gone back to the same old detrimental patterns of behaviour. But they've had it all given to them like me. But anyway, that's enough about me. Me. Yeah. So, but now I am capable to hold what my nephew says, or anybody. Do you know what I mean? Like when they tell me, it's like, boom, okay, give them sound righteous advice, understanding that they have capacity. They have capacity for free will. So if they do a mad thing, that's on them. It's not on me. If they do the right thing, that's once again on them. I didn't do it, like, because you have to do it yourself, or you don't do it yourself. Either way, you did it. Do you know what I mean? You did the best thing for you. You did the worst thing for you. So take credit either way. You know, the ones there. But yeah, anyway, so if I presented a certain way, I could have got put on test, but I just needed to talk to somebody, and that's kind of that bit there. So yeah, back to the here and now. Back in the room. Here and now. So yeah. So if tomorrow I've got a fight, I'm worrying about it. Tomorrow I'm on a disciplinary, I'm worrying about it. Tomorrow, or I've got caught, like, I'm worrying about it. The old me would have not either just left the job, told the man, rung the man or something, or got someone to say, listen, pussy, we're not meeting for no fight. It's on. When I see you, shook. You know, the ones don't want to, man's down for the scrap. Why not want to be like, you know what I mean? Like, squaring up like some mug, do you know what I mean? We see each other, I just see your feet just slapping on the finger, turn around. My man's coming, we're going for it, we're on the bonnet of the car, we're in the road. It's mental, we're biting. You know what I mean? It's peak. Yeah. For example, court, I won't go on a run. Like, I would just go to court and just get it over and done with. Get the sentence, don't get the sentence, whatever. I apologise for all the, you know what I mean? Still here for the season. I'm much better than before. Thank you for asking. So yeah, for the court, I'd rather, like, physical or sexual abuse as a child, you know what I mean? And at first it's like, what the like, mad. But then there's other people that have been in a couple longer. And I'm thinking, what's going on today? Like, the Phantom, I recorded a big half an hour thing. Tried to chuck it under. First things first, I noticed that I haven't put the latest episode that's dropping today on the podcast platform that shares it out, or whatever it's called, yeah? That was the first thing I thought, what? Why didn't I do that? Done everything else. Do you know what I mean? The last thing I always do is the thumbnail. Did the thumbnail like yesterday, the day before. Like, how have I not put... Anyway. Then I just recorded this same pod, here and now. It didn't record. Like, it did, but only thing I can think of what happened is I took the memory card out of the thing before. Like, I'd press stop. So maybe that's what I did. I don't know. Because I remember stopping the camera and whatever, I don't know what happened. And then my voice just comes out of the laptop. You know what I mean? I thought I stopped it on the laptop, so I turned this screen off. Anyway, we keep it moving. This is the Hood Podcast. This is the Hoodcast. Yeah, so I'd just go to prison, I go to court, and if I got sentenced, I'd rather go now and come out as soon as, rather than be on the run for a piece of time and then come out later in time. So just say I'm going to get 2 years, I'd rather, and I come out on the, July 10th flipping 2025, but I'm going to run for 6 months. So now I'm going to come out July, what is it? What would it be? Like January 10th. 2026, like, nah, forget it. Skip me prison. Because that 6 months that I was on the run wasn't enjoyable. You're probably just doing the mad things anyway. Like, if you know anyone that's been on the run, they don't live a nice life. All they're doing is running themselves into the ground. They're probably running through bare girl. They're into sleep here, there, and everywhere. The mental health through the roof. They're paranoid to death. They're just running up the drugs, running up the drink, running up the nights out. Like, just absolutely shedding their head. And then just get caught, and that's that. Losing bare weight, I mentioned that. I said that. Losing bare weight, and they're losing bare weight, and it's a mazzoline. Brethrens are snitching on them. If they're doing bits and bats, like, they're snitching on them, get them off the road quicker, allegedly, so they can take over the market. Allegedly. So yeah, I can worry about all that stuff, or I can just think to myself, do you know what? What I would do, so that the old me would have probably like dodged work, quit the job, just not face the disciplinary. Probably rung up the guy and told him it's on when it's on. You know what I mean? Man, I chanked up, hey, mad. And that's a court, yeah, I'd have gone. You know what I mean? But I'd have also been smoking cigarettes, thinking constantly about it, what possibly could happen. I'd be smoking the ganja, obviously, and I'd be going out for that blowout that night. These things happening in 19 hours. I got 8 hours to sleep. I'm just going to go mad now. You know what I mean? And that's it. Link up the man, them, tell me, oh, listen, I've got this, whatever. And they understand, and then we just go and get mad. Just go wicked and bad. I'd be worrying about all the worst things that can happen. Oh, I might go to jail, or I might get this amount of time, like maximum time. I might flipping get sacked from the job, or this guy might beat me up or break my jaw, whatever. Like, this all negative, just running myself into the ground mentally, scaring myself to death, just compounding my emotions, my feelings, these horrible negative feelings. Yeah, but now, just I got a phone call, and it's one of the, forget the fighting shit, you know what I mean, forget all that. But if it's like a court or something tomorrow, or disciplinary tomorrow, I just had the phone calls. I've just had it dropped on me. It's gonna happen tomorrow. I've worked out what time it is. It's about 19 hours, for example. We think, fuck, boom. I would get worried. Anxiety would kick in. Boom, heart's going. Boom, 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 boom. That's the physical sensation. Heart's going. Mind's racing. Do you know what I mean? I think, oh fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm in a bit of like, oh fuck. I'm not even thinking anything. I'm just like, it's just the way. I just know what's happened. What the? What is going on? Yeah. So I would be going through that. So that's the physical sensations of like the heart beating fast and like the mind racing and whatnot. But then I'd be thinking, all right, so what could happen? Yeah, I could go to prison, or I could get that fine, or I could get whatever the charge is. Yeah, I could lose the job, or get like a blemish on my record, or lose my reputation. Still keep the job, but lose my reputation within the organisation that I work for. So then that's like the negatives. Then it's like, okay, so what can I do? Like the court just basically put my case across. That's all you can do. Just put your case across, and then you just gotta let the process happen, and then you're just gonna get the result that comes. It's just how it's gonna be. From when I say what I'm gonna say, the process is gonna happen, and then the result or the outcome or the consequence will come about. And you just gotta take it because it's just the final judgment. Might be able to appeal it, and then that's just another process, going through it again. But then it's like, okay, so that's what the worst is. That's what I can do. But then, still, it's in the future. It's not here now. It's in 19 hours, for example. So, where am I now? I'm in my yard. What can I do? I can grab some food. I can go out for some food. I can watch Netflix, finish off what I was watching, jump on the Xbox. I can do a pod. I can pod about it. I can bring up my brethren. I can just browse online. I can do all sorts. You know what I mean? Flicker out on YouTube, go for a walk, go for a swim, go to the gym, go for a jog. Like, go and see my mum, dad. You know what I mean? Like, there's loads of stuff I can do. My normal day-to-day stuff, basically, because in the here and now, nothing's happening. The walls aren't caving in, the roof's not coming down. No one's not beating down the door, do you know what I mean? Like, not bricks coming through. Like, there's nothing happening in the here and now. So that just quells the feeling there and then. I also gave the example in the pod that I didn't record, the Phantom pod, about how identifying what you're going through can help with zeroing in now and doing something called separating, which I'll talk about in another pod. So I've been going through some stuff for a while, but I haven't been analysing myself. Like, I've just been because I've like kind of alright, like in a sense, like I can just plod on as is and just win for me winning for me, like me achieving my goals and then looking for my next steps and then going towards my next steps and getting there. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not I'm not like negatively affecting it. There's no bad consequences coming where, like I said, I could make one bad decision, like now, do something wrong, and then take myself out of the loop for years, if not decades, and then try to get back on it again where I'm older, way older. It's going to be harder. There's more stuff to get used to technology-wise. Trying to get onto like the new systems of how processes happen again. Like, well, I could just not make my decisions and just keep on doing what I'm doing now and stay like how I am. But anyway, to keep my well-being up in tip-top shape, I haven't been looking at anything in terms of myself and how I'm feeling and whatnot in terms of what's going on. But I am finding myself ruminating, which I haven't done for a long time. But that's how much this thing's affecting me. So I have looked at it yesterday. I'm thinking, what is it? So what I do first, I always keep in mind the four emotions. People can look at more, depending on what you're looking at, but I use a four emotion one. So it's happiness, anger, sadness, fear. As you can tell, only one of them is like a positive emotion, happiness. So I knew it wasn't happiness. So I'm like, happiness, no, it's not that. I'm thinking sadness, no, but is it? Anger, no, but is it? Like fear, no, but is it? Like, I was confused. Nothing was resonating because when I say the right thing, it's like tink. It always feels like a ting, and then the feeling that I'm feeling just goes whoop, it just drops a bit. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't getting it. I'm thinking, what is it like? And I was running like the situation through my mind. I speak out loud. You see, because when I like say it in my mind, it doesn't have the same kind of. It doesn't have the same kind of effect. So I'm talking to myself. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, Marcus, what is it like? Come on, like, Is it anger? Is it this? Is it that? No, it's not that. Like, is it fear? No, like, but it could be like, because it felt familiar when I'm seeing these other three emotions. So I'm seeing like 3/4. Do you know what I mean? Of the emotions, of the four emotions, and it feels familiar, but it's not quite right. So I'm in a situation where I'm thinking, oh, I feel unheard. Boom, straight away, bang, clocked it. The emotion that I'm feeling just went, woo, dropped down. I thought, why? I thought, right, they're doing like this and that's happening. Like, that's why in this situation, these people are. I thought, okay, understanding why I'm feeling like that, the feeling come down again. Then it's like, why? What can I do? Oh, no. I thought, so, but why is it so strong? Like, why have I been feeling like a mad way every time I'm coming into contact with certain people? Like, and then it links into my neglect and emotional abandonment, my abandonment stuff. So I thought, right, that's why it's proper, because there was consequences then, in a sense. Like, the same consequences aren't there only if I allow it to happen. Because the way to combat being unheard is to speak more, or to, if you're feeling a bit of an oppression coming, you've got to be like, hold on, wait, chill out. You know what I mean? Nothing major, nothing minor, but that's enough. Because some people don't even know what they're doing. It's just an unconscious process, and that's just how they are. And you just got to like be boom and just set boundaries and put your boundary out, which is like your ring fence, so you're not, people aren't too on you. Do you know what I mean? Imagine like people are walking past your house, but they're walking right past your front door. Like, can literally just like touch your front door, and if you were able to expand like a bit of a garden around, then that's like your boundary. Now people can't touch your front door, do you know what I mean? But then you can expand it a bit more. Just keep putting your boundaries in and reinforcing your boundaries. And that's what we need in life. We need to have boundaries. The road thing is no boundaries. People are overstepping the line time after time. I wish I could put that Charlie Murphy thing, the cold-blooded. My man's an habitual line stepper. But I don't edit like that no more. So, Anyway, yeah, so I thought, right, okay. And a light needs to be shown on people that are doing certain stuff like that. So like, right, as soon as I knew what to do, so right, I identified the emotion, brought the feeling down a bit. I understood the background stuff, how it linked back to the abandonment and back to the neglect, shrunk down a bit more because I separated the here and now feelings, although it's not happening at that moment when I'm looking, because I was stood in my kitchen. But this is the time period it's happening, because it's been happening for a certain amount of time, and I still come into contact with these people. So it's going to continue to happen. It's in the mind, once again, because nothing's happening in my kitchen, but it's a time period. Just like if it was in the war, like you might not be in the war, but the war's happening. Do you know what I mean? So it's here and now, it was happening. If that makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, identified it, brought it down, understood what it linked into, separated that, brought it down, realised what I can do. That was the process. Brought it way down. So it's still kind of there because it's not been solved. But I know how to solve this problem. It's probably been unheard. Or the problem that's making me feel unheard. Separating, we'll talk about in another pod, because that's a big thing. Because I could also, because people don't even know that things are all blended in from like what's happening now and this and that. So if I could have made the decision to deal with that wrong, because when I'm getting on to them about what they've done to me, I'm kicking off hardcore, but it don't warrant what's happening in the here and now. Like what's making me feel unheard is like 1% of the 100% of what's happening back then. So I should deal with the 1% with 1%. Just balance it out. It's even. Everything's fine. I don't mean get back. I mean just explain what's going on. Do you know what I mean? But what people can do is, because things happen to them a lot in the past, they can be like, it always happens to me and you're not doing it again. And they're dealing with that stuff back there in the here and now. So even though this 1% thing is happening to them, they're dealing with it, they're pushing back with 100%. So it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, and that's why there's a lot of certain types of crime, like violent crimes and all kind of mad crimes, because someone will do something to them that reminds them of that back then, but they're not separating it. That's a separate incident happening. It's not the person doing it back then. It's not the same situation. You can walk away now. You're an adult. You're this and that. There's a lot of variables and a lot of factors that are different now. But people just kill the person or something because they're dealing with that person that they can't deal with. They can't kill. Do you know what I mean? Because of whatever reasons. Yeah. Without getting too deep into it. I'm talking about murder. So that's a bit of here and now stuff. Like, even though it's not the here and now, because I'm kind of contradicting myself saying, well, it's not happening now, but I'm not. It is still like planning on what I'm going to do, but then once that was sorted, I could just do what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? No ruminating, no whatever. Like, I've gone clear a little bit. Hope that makes sense, because I'm going to keep this one short still. But we will talk about emotions more, and I'm going to talk about separating as well. Separating feelings. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. Very beneficial. Marcus, the EQ and Q Lifestyle Podcast.